fortunate to have His Grace Yugavtaar Prabhuji here with us today. And Prabhuji will be enlightening us by walking us through Srimad Bhagavatam 4.26.21 onwards. But before we jump into this nectarine class, I will request His Grace Adi Gadadhar Prabhuji to share a brief introduction about Grace Yugavtaar Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji, for giving me this opportunity to introduce His Grace Yugavtaar Prabhu. Just the thought of introducing Yugavtaar Prabhu is making me very excited. I first met Yugavtaar Prabhu in August 1998, the first day when I came to Grant Medical College, JJ Hospital, to begin my MBBS studies. I was 18 years old and I had a lot of material desires. I came to Mumbai to enjoy. But on the very first day when I was getting my admission in my hostel room, I met Yugavtaar Prabhu. He was our assistant professor in anatomy, and he captured me on the very first day. And then I started going to his room, and he started preaching to me about Krishna consciousness. And I gave him a very hard time, but eventually he completely won my heart and convinced me, and took me to Gaur Gopal Prabhu, who used to conduct Bhagavad Gita classes in the boys' hostel every Thursday, then Gaurang Prabhu. And like me, he has brought hundreds and hundreds of students to Krishna consciousness. Yugavtaar Prabhu is a very, very sincere devotee. He's a very senior and experienced devotee. He's a counselor in the Shri Shri Radha Gopinath congregation. And Yugavtaar Prabhu received his first and second initiations from His Holiness Shri Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And Yugavtaar Prabhu originally comes from the Satara area of Maharashtra, and he is a descendant in the family of Shivaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So he has got that Kshatriya blood and a Brahminical heart, a Gaudiya Vaishnava heart. And he's very intelligent. He did very well in his MBBS. He did it from Grand Medical College, and he was getting everything from orthopedics to general surgery. But Yugavtaar Prabhu, he really wanted to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada by preaching to the young boys and girls who come, who seek admission in medical colleges. So Yugavtaar Prabhu gave up a lucrative career as an orthopedic surgeon or a general surgeon, and instead he took the position as an assistant professor in anatomy, because anatomy is the first subject that is taught in medical school. And he wanted to catch the students when they are fresh, before they get contaminated by the college environment. And like I said, he has brought hundreds and hundreds of students to Krishna consciousness. His Grace Yugavtaar Prabhu, he's I think now a professor in KEM Hospital, St. GS Medical College, which is the top medical college in Maharashtra. And Prabhuji he's supported in his devotional service, in his preaching services, very ably by his good wife, Her Grace Rasrani Mataji. Both of them are excellent devotees, excellent counselors, very, very good actors in the drama festival, annual drama festival of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir. And that famous drama you have seen about Her Grace Ladini Mataji, that is Yugavtaar Prabhu's good wife, Rasrani Mataji. And all those Goloka players dramas, the funny, humorous dramas you see, Yugavtaar Prabhu is one of the main actors, and he's the backbone of that group. So Yugavtaar Prabhu is my Vartama Pradarshaka Guru. I am in Krishna consciousness because of Yugavtaar Prabhu. So Yugavtaar Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. And I'm so happy to see you after so many years. We did meet in the Kartik Yatra last year, but before that we have not met for so many years. And in India, I met you in 2009, just before I came to begin my residency in Atlanta. And it was the installation of our Gaur-Nitai deities. I still remember. Gaurang Prabhu was there, Krishnanam Prabhu was there, Shridama Prabhu was there. It was a very long program, went on for 5-6 hours. Our Gaur-Nitai, Nitai Sachinandan and Jagannath Baldev Subhadra deities were installed. And after everyone left, then Yugavtaar Prabhu also was leaving. And outside our flat in Mumbai, just before I saw him off in the elevator, he embraced me and he cried like a child on my shoulders because he was feeling very concerned about me that I'm leaving the Association of Devotees in Mumbai and I'm going to America. And he told me to be Krishna conscious always. And when I came to America, I have felt spiritually weak so many times. I have felt lonely. I have felt that I'm going to fall prey to temptations. But whenever those temptations and negative thoughts haunted me, that embrace and those tears of Yugavtaar Prabhu always came to my rescue, telling me that there is my Vartama Pradarshaka Guru, Yugavtaar Prabhu, who cares for me, who loves me, and I didn't want to let him down because I have already let him down once. Initially, he preached to me, and then I went away, and then again I came back. So I didn't want to disappoint him. So that love and care of Yugavtaar Prabhu has kept me going. So thank you very much, Yugavtaar Prabhu. I am very insignificant, but you are very significant in the life of this insignificant servant of yours. So let us welcome Yugavtaar Prabhu to our Bhakti Sangha group, and I hope and pray that Prabhuji will give us his valuable association along with Rasrani Mataji and their kids regularly in the future. So His Grace Yugavtaar Prabhu ki jai. Thank you very
Hi.
much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, please accept my humble obeisances at the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas present at this Bhakti Sangh. We'll start with Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Ya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Om Vishnupat Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotra Satshri Sri Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Om Vishnupat Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotra Satshri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shami Kunda Radha Kunda Guru Govardhan ki Jai नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय मथुरा धाम की जय मायापुर जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी महाराज ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामयं ददाति स्वयं ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. So we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 26th chapter, verse number 21. Puranjan Uvacha Nunam Tva Atra Punyaste Praktav Yasya Ishvara Shubhe Krutva Gasva Atmasat Krutva Shikshadanam Nayujayate. The word-wise translation, Puranjan Uvacha, Puranjan said, Nunam, certainly, two, then, Akruta Punya, those who are not pious, te, such, Abhruttah, servants, Yesu, unto whom, Ishvara, the masters, Shubhe, O auspicious ones, Krut Aghasu, who have committed offenses, Atmasat, accepting as their own, Krutva, doing so, Shiksha, instructive, uh, Dandam, punishment, Na Yujjate, do not kill. King Purajan said, my dear beautiful my wife, when a master accepts a servant as his own, but does not punish him for his offenses, the servant must consider himself as most unfortunate. Purport by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. According to Vedic civilization, domestic animals and servants are treated exactly like own swan children. one's own children. Animals and children are sometimes punished not out of vengeance but out of love. Similarly, a master sometimes punishes his servant not out of vengeance but out of love to correct him and bring him to the right point. Thus, King Puranjan took his punishment dealt by his wife, the queen, as mercy upon him. He considered himself the most obedient servant of the queen. She was angry at him for his sinful activities, namely hunting in the forest and leaving her at home. Puranjan accepted the punishment as actual love and affection from his wife. In the same way, when a person is punished by laws of nature, by the will of God, he should not be disturbed. The real devotee thinks in this way. When a devotee is put into an awkward position, he takes this as mercy of the Supreme Lord. Tattenukampa susamikshmano bhunjana eva atmakritam vipaki. This verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.8 states that a devotee accepts the reversal of his position in life as a benediction of the Lord and consequently offers the more obeisances and prayers, thinking that this punishment is due to his past misdeeds, and that the Lord is punishing him very mildly. The punishment awarded by the state or God for one's own faults actually is for one's benefit. In Manu Samhita, it is said that a king should be considered merciful when he condemns a murderer to death, because a murderer punished in this life will be freed from his sinful activity and in the next life takes birth cleared of his sins. If one accepts punishment as reward dealt by the master, he becomes intelligent enough to to not to commit the same mistakes again. Nam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutare Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namah. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paswati Vishakarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So thank you Adi Gadadhar Prabhu and for your kind introduction. I don't deserve such nice words of appreciation. That was so nice of you. Uh, all of you may be distinctly seeing a different person with no hair. And the reason for this, all of you know here, we are having a very, very strict lockdown, no barber available. So I found one devotee barber. His name was Lakshmi Pati. So he came to my house and he said, Prabhuji, things are very bad. I don't know when I'll come next. So you better, I'll do a haircut of yours, which look like a brahmachari. I said, okay. And I'm sitting here just in front of a window. That is my very common position where I sit to give lectures, because you know that whole light coming from behind looks like a effulgence around my head, and people get illusioned that he is a very good, great devotee. And although I am a very horrible person in my own personal life. So in this translation, Srila Prabhupada writes that when a master accepts a servant as his own man but does not punish him for his offenses, the servant must be considered as unfortunate. Here we come to know that why we call Srimad Bhagavatam as a very heavy scripture, which is actually meant for the Paramhamsas. Because it is so difficult. This servant considers himself unfortunate if he is not punished by the master. Now, from our school days, whenever we went to the school and whenever we committed any offense, and our first prayer to God used to be, God, let the teacher, not come to know what I did. And then our next step would be, even if the teacher comes to know, let him not inform my parents. Let me not get punished. And this is how we have grown up over years, that we consider ourselves as fortunate if we are not punished for the offenses right from our school days. And then we come to devotional service and we read this verse 4.26.21, where we are taught in the Srimad Bhagavatam that a servant should consider himself unfortunate if he is not punished for his offenses. By this, we just understand the level of uh, Srimad Bhagavatam. Even in our devotional service, we do many offenses. Some offenses are very gross, which everybody sees, but they are not so grave. They are gross because they are seen, but may not be grave. But many times when we are alone, left alone, or many times we do many such things which a devotee should not do, and for that we are not punished, and then we feel ourselves fortunate. Oh, looks like Krishna is very kind and he has forgiven me. But then there comes a time where we are sometimes punished for things which we did not do at all. You must have had this experience in your life that many times suddenly some allegations are put on us, and we we never committed that offense and we are punished for it. So therefore, I would like to make a statement here that very fact that if you find yourself punished for offenses which you did not commit, that means previously many times you have gone unpunished for the offenses which you committed. This should be our consciousness. I have committed so many offenses and I was unpunished. So today I'm getting punishment for offense which I didn't commit, but that's fine. I should remember all those offenses which I committed for which I was not punished. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that according to Vedic civilization, the domestic animals and servants are to be treated exactly like one's children. So sometimes we punish them, but that punishment should not be out of vengeance, but should be out of love. Actually, this principle applies for the not only for children, but this principle applies for every one of us. This principle applies for it is applicable to everyone rather. What I mean by everyone, that any time we have to punish anyone, it should be done out of love, as Srila Prabhupada is saying, that animals and children sometimes are punished not out of vengeance but out of love. And I feel that this principle which Srila Prabhupada is speaking here should be applied while dealing with any punishment. Even sometimes we have to correct a devotee, or sometimes we may have to chastise a devotee. It's a very painful thing, but it should be done out of love and never out of vengeance. Like we talk about the bank account, that we deposit the money in bank account. So with dealing with devotees, especially dealing with junior devotees, what is a bank account? The amount of love and care we give them, then we are depositing something in the bank account. And chastisement, when we chastise them or when we punish them, means we are withdrawing. So every time we are chastising a devotee, we should remember that I am withdrawing. I am withdrawing from that bank account. So therefore, we have to ensure that before I chastise, I have deposited enough love and care in the bank account of our relationship. It is very important. And here, King Puranjan took his punishment dealt by his wife as a mercy upon him. I would, with folded hands, I would like to seek blessings of Puranjan, who has this guts to take punishment dealt by his wife as mercy upon him. I don't think I'll be able to ever do this in my whole lifetime. Hmm. She was angry with him for his sinful activities, and but he took it as, you know, uh, as a mercy. The verse here states that devotee accepts a reversal of his position as a benediction of the Lord, consequently offers the Lord more obeisances and prayers, thinking that punishment is due to his past misdeed and Lord is punishing him mildly. We read this and theoretically we know this philosophy, but actually when it comes to applying this philosophy, it is so painful. It's so painful. I myself, uh, as Prabhuji introduced, that I am working in a medical college. And last year, in the month of November, I was transferred to other college, which even Adigadadar Prabhu is not aware. Sometimes if he calls me, I can tell him all the details. And unfortunately or fortunately, my children were studying in the close by area where I was staying in the previous college. So I then requested that let me stay here in this hospital campus and I go for work in the other hospital campus. Till the date of my transfer, which is 20th November 2019, I was holding such a big position in this hospital. I was in charge of the security, I was in charge of the cleanliness of a building, I was in charge of 7-8 buildings of the hostel accommodation. I was in charge of the entire garden. I was taking care of the entire garden. Many employees under me. And one day, that is 20th November, I just got an order in my hand that you from tomorrow have to report to other hospital. The verse states that a devotee accepts the reversal of his position in his life as a benediction of the Lord. For me, it came as such a thunderbolt. And now, last 6 months, every day morning, I sit in my car or bike and I go to the other hospital for working. And here I'm totally disconnected from this earlier hospital. I don't have that position, I don't have the power. But thanks to Srila Prabhupada, thanks to our previous acharyas who have given us this philosophy that we should accept reversal of our position as benediction of the Lord. And you know what happened in my personal life is from all that administrative position, I was transferred there as a professor. And now I am just a professor. All those 100 responsibilities which I had taken voluntarily on my head are not there. So I really saw it as a benediction. I again became a teacher, a medical teacher, which I was when I was teaching Adi Gadadhar Prabhu in at the previous college. And now what I wanted in life to sit down and read Bhagavatam, not to be occupied 24 hours. That was the reason I had taken up the job of a professor. And when from Grant Medical College I came to this particular hospital, I became an administrator and a professor. And after the transfer, which because of grace of Srila Prabhupada and our philosophy, I could digest it, I'm back to becoming a teacher again. And yes, but it was very painful. But as Lord Chaitanya has taught us, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahishvana Amanena Manadena Kirtaniya Sada. This verse not only helps us to sustain in spiritual life, it also helps us to sustain in material life also. Okay. And once His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was giving a lecture on this verse, and he said, grass never screams, but Lord Chaitanya says you have to be more humbler than a blade of grass. So what do we mean by more humbler? More humbler means not only that we don't scream, but we fold our hands and we say, thank you. Thank you, Allah. That is more humbler. Not screaming is humbler. It is humbler. But not screaming is just, it's like a grass. But Lord Chaitanya says more humbler than a grass. Means not only not screaming, but we also say thank you. Thank you to those who have trampled upon us, those who have thrashed us. We normally feel that Trunadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada. There are these 5 things told in this verse. Become humbler than a blade of grass. Become tolerant like a tree. Offer all obvious respect to other. Do not expect any respect in return. And always chant the holy name. There are 5 instructions which Lord Chaitanya has given us. But it's not 5 instructions. It's 4 instructions. Trinadapi Sunichen, Taroriva Sahishnuna, Amanena Manadena. And when we do these 4 things, only then the 5th thing, Kirtaniya Sadahari, is possible. That means in the verse number 3 of the Shikshashtaka, which has 4 lines, when we follow the upper 3 lines, only then the 4th thing, that is Kirtaniya Sadahari, becomes possible. Because if we are not humble, then we'll take all the offenses to the heart. We are not tolerant, we will react. If we don't offer respect to others, you know how people are. When they don't receive respect, they will thrash you. And if we expect respect in return, so that means our mind is constantly intolerant, it is not humble, always refusing to give respect to others and always expecting others to respect us. When with these 4 things are clouded in our mind, it becomes very, very, very difficult to be Kirtaniya Sadahari. And that is one reason all of us are constantly thinking that why can't I constantly think of Krishna? And the reason we constantly cannot think of Krishna, and the reason for that is we are constantly thinking of how to get respect or how to uh, not give respect to others because I want respect. I am the person who should be respected. And we are not humble and we are not tolerant. And that's the reason we are not able to constantly remember Krishna. When we consider ourselves humbler than a blade of grass, become tolerant, follow these principles, we'll be able to think of and why we should not be humble. There is no reason to be proud, right? We all of us we came to this world naked without any cloth. So what we should be proud of? We are so small. We are one amongst the billions and billions and trillions and quadrillions of the souls. And Lord Krishna also is never proud. The Lord whom we worship is also never proud. When Lord Krishna, who is known as Ajit, who is never defeated, and Jarasandha attacked him on 18th time, what did Lord Krishna do? He just left. He left the battlefield because 18th time when Jarasandha uh, had approached Lord Krishna with his soldiers, before leaving for the battle, he told all the Vaishnavas whom he had captured that this time I'm going to kill all of you. This time I'm going to kill all of you. If I come back defeated, I'm going to kill all of you. So Lord Krishna came to know about these kings who were kept in captive by Jarasandha. And he was thinking, if I defeat him and he goes back, he will kill all my devotees. So he decided to run away from the battlefield. So now Jarasandha was very happy that nobody defeated Krishna, but I defeated him. Therefore, Krishna is called Ranchor. But he also was never proud that, okay, I'm Ajit. He said, no, I'm not proud. I'm Ranchor. Uh, you want to call me Ranchor? That's fine. There was one Brahmin who was staying in a village. This particular Brahmin, was very famous for doing his Gayatri in time. You know, I don't know about the sunrise sunset timings in US, but in India, uh, one few of our ISKCON gurus, they tell us that if you don't chant your Gayatri in the morning between 6 to 6:30, in the afternoon between 12 to 12:30, and evening between 6 to 6:30, you can just chant abracadabra. That means if Sandhya is not done in time, it is not useful. And this Brahmin, he dot in morning 6 o'clock, afternoon 12 o'clock, evening 6 o'clock, he used to do his Gayatri. Now what happens is one day in the evening he was sleeping and it was almost quarter to 6. Now it was a time when he has to get up, take his bath and do Gayatri. But he overslept that day in the evening. So somebody woke him up. So he got up and he realized that Kali had woken him up. So as he ran to the river, he was taking bath. He was thinking, why did Kali wake me up? Kali should be so happy that I'm sleeping, not doing my Gayatri. So he said, okay. He finished his bath, 6 o'clock, he did his Gayatri. And then he went searching for Kali. And then Kali was there smiling. So he asked Kali that, oh, Kali, you woke me up. Actually, you should have been so happy that I'm sleeping, I'm not doing my Gayatri. And you know what wonderful answer Kali gave him? Kali told him, see, if I would have not woken you up, you would have slept. Then your records of last 20 years would have been broken because you would have not done your Gayatri at 6 o'clock. Once your record would have been broken, then you would have cried and cried and cried. And you would have cried so much that you would have become humble by excessive crying. And once you become humble, you would have achieved Krishna. But now your pride is intact, so you will not get Krishna. And my purpose is served. So this so bad is pride that because of our pride, we cannot achieve Krishna. So what is the antidote for pride is humility. And that is why we have to practice humility. The Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, whenever they were in Vrindavan, there was this scholar who came and he said, I challenge both of you for a debate. And they said, no, we don't want to debate. We don't want to waste useless, this time in such useless discussions. Every second of human life is precious. We don't want to get into debates. Uh, this is again one more lesson for all of us. Uh, whether we should debate with non-devotees or not. We should not get into debates on political matter or definitely when it comes to debates like does God exist? Yes, we should. We should. When it comes to debate whether a person should take prasad or eat non-veg food, we should get into. But otherwise, we should not get into debates. So Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they said we'll write. He said that the scholar said, okay, if you don't want to debate with me, right here we are defeated. So they wrote, we are defeated. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan. This is humility. This is humility. Even when Srila Prabhupada, he was asked this question, are you Allen Ginsberg's guru? Those who have read Srila Prabhupada Lilamrut, there comes occasion where Allen Ginsberg was associated with ISKCON. And Allen Ginsberg was doing so many other things which a ISKCON devotee should not do. Kind of a controversial character. So they asked him, are you Allen's guru? The newspaper reporter. Now Srila Prabhupada says yes. Then they will say, see what Allen is doing. Srila Prabhupada says no. Allen will be hurt, and Srila Prabhupada was cultivating him. In the Lilamrut, Satsarup Maharaj writes, it was a loaded question. And Srila Prabhupada gives such a nice answer. He said, I am nobody's guru. I am the servant of the entire world. And that should be the mood. And Srila Prabhupada was always in that mood. Even when he succeeded in his mission of establishing 108 temples all over the world, what was mood of Srila Prabhupada? Mood of Srila Prabhupada was that my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, is sending all of you so that I can help in the mission. And even the current disciples of Srila Prabhupada are practicing this. All of you know this Swarup Damodar Prabhu is a disciple of his Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and sings very nice, beautiful bhajans, and his bhajan CDs are there everywhere. And once His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was, in traveling in US, and one person was taking him around in US, and he put Swarup Damodar Prabhu's CD, and he asked Radhanath Maharaj, "Do you know him?" He's Swarup Damodar. He sings very nicely. And Radhanath Maharaj said, yeah, okay, very nice, very nice. Throughout the journey, that person was playing the album of Swarup Damodar Prabhu. But not even once His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj said that he is my disciple. So our current acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, right up to Krishna, everyone is having the attitude of humility. Therefore, it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to say that if you chant Hare Krishna and if you don't offend devotees, I'll take you back to God. If you analyze this statement, that why it is said like this, that if you uh, don't offend devotees, and I'll end up because it's almost 45 minutes, and then we can have question answers. That if you don't offend devotees, and if you chant Hare Krishna nicely, we'll go back to God. Why like this? Because there are only two things in the spiritual world. One is Lord Krishna, and another thing is devotees. So therefore Lord Chaitanya says, if you chant Hare Krishna attentively, and if you don't offend devotees, I'll take you back to God. By practicing these two principles, we are showing how we are treating devotees and how we are treating the Lord. What I mean is, by not offending devotees, when we are showing respect to the devotees, we are treating them with love and care and not offending them. So Lord Krishna is sure that okay, he treats devotees very well. So when he comes to the spiritual world, he will not offend anyone. And one who chants Hare Krishna nicely, by that we are showing how we are treating Krishna. So whenever we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna appears on our tongue. But if we ignore him, then we are not treating Krishna properly. So we have to show to the Lord, if we are really serious about going back to Godhead, we have to show to the Lord two things: chanting attentively. By chanting attentively, we are showing the Lord how I am treating you, O Lord, so nicely. Because we have mistreated the Lord, we are here. And not offending devotees, showing respect to devotees. By that, we are showing the Lord how I treat the devotees. So if you are treating Krishna well, you are treating the devotees well, Krishna will say, okay, come here. Okay. So with that, I'll end my lecture over here. Any questions you can ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandot Pranam
I,
Prabhuji.
I have a question.
Yes,
Uh, like, sometimes there are brand new devotees, let's say a few months or a few years old,
yes,
and I ask them, how many rounds are you chanting? So they may say 2, 4, 8, whatever, but not 16.
yeah,
And I would ask them to chant at least 16 minimum.
yeah.
And they will have their excuse like, oh, I think chanting so many rounds attentively is better than 16 rounds unattentively. So I said, yes, but still, at least you try to chant 16 rounds. So my question is,
Yeah,
I advised them eventually because I saw that it's not making any progress. So I
yeah,
advised them that, okay, chant unattentively, but at least chant 16 rounds. Then we will talk about attentive.
yes, Prabhuji.
Is that okay, or
Yes,
the right
Prabhu,
advice I
perfect.
gave them, or I should not have done that?
Prabhuji, perfect. Actually, Govinda Sham Prabhu, what advice you are giving them is perfect. There is no doubt about this. Gaurang Prabhu also says this. He says that you just increase the quantity and quality will increase eventually. So when it comes to initially pushing a devotee from 4 round, 8 round to 16 round, we don't talk about attentive chanting to them. We just tell about chanting 16 rounds.
Yeah,
Yeah. But here when we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam
yeah,
amongst this group of devotees, where
yeah,
we are now churning,
yeah. I
and
just wanted to make sure that I'm advising them right, or
you are right, Prabhuji. Actually, I am
misguiding them.
no, Prabhuji. I am no one to guide you also. But your advice is perfect. So when it comes to pushing a devotee from 12 round to 16, 8 to 16, 4 to 16, we just tell them that okay, you reach the level of 16 first. Yeah, number is most important.
Yeah,
Even with us, sometimes it happens like this, that we are in midst of a marriage or a conference or heavy seva once in a year or twice in a year, thrice in a year, maybe 10 days in a year. It happens to every one of us. And there, we have an option whether I should sit down and chant for 2 hours, which is impossible. And other option is I just finish my 16 rounds. And we at such times we say just finish today because you have promised your spiritual master. So but this should not happen on 365 days.
Yeah.
5 days, 10 days in a year, that is
Yeah.
also not a good excuse. But yeah, but sometimes when it comes to, we tell devotees, don't chant while driving,
Yeah.
right? We may give advice to devotees that you should not. But then some devotee on a Janmashtami is so busy, he's ferrying devotees from here to here and bringing, and he says, if I'm from for 24 hours I'm on in the car, so better he chants and finishes that day. But every day if he starts doing that, then that is not advice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I pushed them, and then finally they are now initiated
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
This I'm talking about years. So I still advise some new people to at least chant unattentively in whatever way they.
Yes. This even I have heard myself from Gaurang Prabhu. Rather, I was a person who was chanting 4 rounds very attentively and not ready to go to 16. And that time, Gaurang Prabhu said the same line to me. That was way back 25 years back, and he said, "You increase the quantity, quality will follow."
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Very well.
All right.
Any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandot Mataji.
Dandavat, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just a follow up with that. So, isn't it an offense to be inattentive while chanting?
Yes. It's definitely an offense. But Mataji, when we are pushing, Mataji, can I know your name? Because I could not see you on the screen.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Dandavat. My name is Sundari Gopidasi.
Okay, Mataji. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yes, but at the initial stage when we want to push them, Mataji, from 4 rounds to 16 rounds, we do use this technique of pushing them. But and when they start chanting 16 rounds, because they may say that I'm chanting 4 rounds attentively, but you know how attentive they are in those 4 rounds. Our mind plays all types of tricks. So better they chant 16 rounds. Okay. Of course, in we as Prabhuji advises them that you may chant inattentively, but at least manage to chant 16 rounds. This advice, by doing this, Prabhuji is actually trying to trick them to take them to 16. So once they come to 16, then Prabhuji will be again in their home, and Govinda Sham Prabhu will be again now talking about quality chanting and attentive chanting. Okay. So yes, definitely we push people to take them to 16 first, and then talk about. Now imagine in our initial days when we came to ISKCON, people told us to chant. Nobody told us to chant attentively, right? And then we thought process is so easy. I have to just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Then they told us, no, chant Hare Krishna in an offenseless way, and then you will be happy. And then how to chant offenseless way? Please attend this seminar. Now, so in day one, if they would have told us that you have to start chanting, and then you may have to attend seminars and you'll have to attend hundreds of lectures to improve the quality of chanting, we may not have chanted on. Okay. So yes, this is the way we kind of trick people. So we are not tricking people for their bad, we are tricking them for their good. Because otherwise, these people who claim that I have time only to chant 4 rounds, otherwise they may waste lot of time in watching television, watching movies, on surfing on internet. But when it comes to chanting, they will say that I don't have time. So we better push them to 16, and of course, it's our duty when Govinda Sham Prabhu is pushing somebody to 16 rounds. It's his duty to again visit them back and slowly start working upon the quality also. So we work first on quantity and then we work on quality. Because if you give some, like for in my own case, I'm telling you, way back 26, 27 years ago when I started chanting, I was arguing that I will chant only one round, but I will chant. And I used to actually do that. I used to sit with my mala and I used to chant with this speed, Hare Krishna, and this way. But do you think even after 4 or 5 rounds, even with that slow speed, after 4 or 5 Mahamantras, the mind goes astray. So in short, mind is going to go here and there, wander here and there. So better I chant 16 rounds. At least those holy names fall on my ear. And that purification of ears and purification of tongue is happening. Purification of mind is not happening because I'm not allowing my mind to hear. Okay. But at least with those 16 rounds, the tongue and the ears are getting purified. Eventually, the mind will also get purified when he starts concentrating the mind on the holy name.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Just short this follow. Prabhuji, what with children? I told my daughter chant one Maha Mantra, but do it nicely rather than looking here, looking there, and because she hardly likes to chant. But just because you love me, could you do just one Maha Mantra?
Mhm.
So how to make? I myself, I'm not like after 2 3 Maha Mantras only. I'm like my mind just keeps wandering. I'm
Yeah,
trying. After 4 rounds, I have no strength even to try.
yeah,
It
no,
is
no.
gone.
Yeah,
So with what
no,
conviction I can tell my daughter, chant.
yeah.
So how do you deal with your children, or how have you seen parents dealing?
Actually, it works something like that. Whenever we want our children to do something good, we want them to study the way we with children, everything works with bargain. Everything works with bargain. They are very intelligent. They are children. They are mini business people. They will ask you, you want me to do this? What will I get? If I get a toffee, then if I get going to get a Cadbury bar, I don't mind chanting one round also. So basically, everywhere they will try to bargain with us, and we should bargain in such a way that yes, we should like we say that we also were tricked by somebody, and then we came to Krishna consciousness, and now we are thankful that we were tricked. Similarly, the same way we also have to trick our children somehow. Somehow we have to convince them to sit and chant one round. One Mahamantra is too less, actually, to tell you very frankly. Uh, but one round, yeah, initially we get those small, I don't know the age of your daughter, but we get, uh, we have this small malas of 27 beads. So we initially start with that 27 beads, and then we tell them, okay, now 127, now 2 times 27, it becomes 54, then 3 times, and then 4 times, so it becomes 108. Oh, so the child may be small, he may say that, oh, I don't. So tell them, do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening. So whole day, one round is chanted. Slowly, it's everything. We should never push them beyond their capacity, but try to, reward them for what they are doing initially. Once they get convinced about our philosophy, it is very difficult to convince, and but then eventually when they will get convinced, they will thank you. They will thank. And I have seen so many children, here in city of Mumbai who are devotee kids. I know of a devotee kid, Mataji. His father used to put bead bag around his neck and get him to the temple. And then he used, because I was a youngster when I came to Krishna consciousness. This devotee kid, uh, when he used to reach the temple and father used to go for lecture and I used to be there down in the temple on the ground floor, he used to take out a ball from the bead bag and he used to say, Prabhu, khelte hai. And I used to play with him. And moment his father used to look, he used to put the ball back in the bead bag and show as if he's chanting. I thought this fellow will never become a devotee. Today he is one of the leading kirtaniyas in India. Okay, leading kirtaniyas. His kirtans, people call him to international kirtan programs also. Now this is a story of when he was in 5th standard, getting ball inside the bead bag. Beads I never saw. From the point his father used to take him in a car from the Mumbai suburbs, father used to ask him 10 times, bead bag liya? You took your bead bag? He used to say, yes, 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 bead bag is here. Putting hand and showing his chanting. And never he got bead back to the temple. Always there was a ball. So, but then, coming to the temple and even mimicking, and somehow he became a devotee. Okay, so always we have to bargain with our children. I'll give you this, you chant. I'll give you this, I chant. You should chant. And slowly try to convince. We should not be harsh with them. Be very nice with them, very lovingly. When you do something for them, they will also do something for you. So we also tell them, okay, we are going to the temple, and we go and everyone chants one round, then you'll get a pizza in Govindas. Yeah, so then they're ready to chant. And every Sunday, I used to take my daughter to the temple, Radha Gopinath temple, before the lockdown. And I used to promise her while coming back at the Grant Road station of which is closest to the ISKCON Chowpatty, I said there is a welcome supermarket where we get American chocolates, Lindor and all. So I said, you come with me for chanting. After Darshanarti, I'll get a chocolate for you. So then she is very happy. So somehow you also have to trick the children. Any other question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nice class on humility and tolerance. So, Prabhuji, my question is on the
Mataji,
pastime.
your name, please. Sorry.
Sorry, Prabhuji. My name is Lalitangi Radha Devidasi. I'm from
Okay,
Shar.
Mataji. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, my question is in the pastime of that a scholar defeating Rupa Goswami, and then Jiva Goswami goes to him and proves him wrong, and then Rupa Goswami asked him to,
Leave
I mean,
Vrindavan.
leave Vrindavan.
Leave the ashram. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was in the bank of Yamuna. So Prabhuji, we say, Guru is who has dedicated his life, and
Yeah.
this scholar is trying to blaspheme his Guru by telling that he is better than him. So it's a duty, right, for the disciple to stand for the Guru. I mean, we can't.
Yeah.
This is the first offense that one should not blaspheme the devotees of dedicated. So why Rupa Goswami punished him, or what we should learn from this, Prabhuji?
Okay. Lalitangi Radha Mataji, in your heart, I'm just confirming, you are convinced that whatever happened with Jiva Goswami was little harsh, right?
Yeah.
So that's the lesson. That's the lesson from this pastime. That sometimes it may happen that you may feel that your Guru is heavy. You may feel that what I did was right. Jiva Goswami had all explanations to give, What I did was right. I tried to protect the parampara. I tried to protect you. But he did not argue. This is the lesson of the pastime, Mataji, that we, although convinced in our heart, what I did was right, good for my guru, good for my parampara. But in spite of that, the guru tells you, you are wrong, I am wrong. What is the punishment? You go away for some days. Okay, I go away. So the pastime was meant to teach this. And most of the problems today we are facing in our society is a disciple, a puffed up disciple, not convinced that Guru is right. He is convinced that I am right. I am right. Logically, I am right. So, like Jiva Goswami has taught all the disciples to come in the future in this Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Don't argue with your Guru. What Guru says is right. He showed it. He was, otherwise, when we listen to this story, every one of us feel, yeah, Rupa Goswami was very, very cruel, very harsh on Jiva Goswami. But this whole pastime is to teach us how to become a disciple. A disciple means Guru says, you are wrong. Okay, I am wrong. What is the punishment? Okay, this is the punishment. I will take it. But I will not argue with you. And then when we keep this approach, what happens is, eventually, it may appear sometimes that Guru is displeased. Eventually, Sanatan Goswami comes and tells Rupa Goswami, you are not practicing Jiva Daya. And then he goes, brings back Jiva, and he nursed his wounds. So he got mercy. He got mercy. But there was a time period, there was a lesson to be learned. And here what we do, because if we are not convinced about the whole thing, what happens with us currently, people leave. People leave permanently. They start their own temples, they start their own organization. If they follow this story, Jiva Goswami didn't go outside Vrindavan and start his own parampara or build his own temple. He kept on lamenting, chanting the holy name, and begging to the Lord that let my spiritual master forgive me. That means in his heart. So one thing, once I was listening this first time from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and he was telling that when Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami told Jiva Goswami to get out, he not only didn't argue, when Rupa Goswami told him, Jiva, you have committed an offense, Jiva Goswami in his heart was convinced that he has committed offense. It's not that in his heart he was thinking that, okay, I'm correct, but now Rupa Goswami is not understanding my mood. So maybe one day he'll understand and he'll call me back. It was not like that. He was convinced that I have done a mistake. So that is a very divine lesson we learn from this past. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your wonderful lecture and very nice answers for the questions. We are learning very much by your association, Prabhuji. Please come often to give classes. Hare
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Govinda Sham Prabhu, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, sir. Prabhuji. One more question I have is my chanting used to be like in 7 minutes, one round a few years ago. Then it went to 8, 9, and now it is at 10.
Yeah.
And first question would be, is that okay? And then second is like, I have a niece, like I'm 60 years old, and then I have a niece who is 20 years old in Delhi. So she is doing the chanting same like 10 minutes per round from the beginning and even now. And she was told by some seniors that this is not right. You have to increase the speed, or you must have committed some offenses in the past life. That's why you are not able to do it in 7 minutes, and you are not able to do. So, can you throw
No,
some light on it?
yeah. Srila Prabhupada has very clearly said that up to 10 minutes is okay. So up to 10 minutes is okay. Beyond 10 minutes, it is Maya. So this is a very authentic statement, I know. So up to 10 minutes is absolutely fine. Yeah. So now what must have happened is she must have met with some devotee who has been very strict. We have a whole spectrum of devotees who are very merciful, who are very strict. So that's fine. She should not feel too bad about because this is how uh, what is going to happen is Maya. Firstly, she stops us from going to the temple through our relatives. So our relatives, they are the ones. So Maya is firstly tries through the relatives. So relatives, they're like, "Hey, what? Where are you going?" They are all crazy people. Still, if you continue going to the temple, then Maya attacks you through devotees. Because that is so traumatizing. I left everyone and I came to the temple. I left my relatives. And now you are telling me that I have been sinful person, so I'm not able. So that is the second attack of Maya to throw us out of devotional service. So firstly, you have to tell your niece that whatever anybody says to you, you are sinful, this, that, you have to understand that this is second attack of Maya on you. So at no way, however people treat you, you have to continue. Yeah. Tell her one thing that uh, even if up to 10 rounds is actually 10 minutes is okay. Actually, I'm telling you one thing, 10 minutes is the standard time one should take. If you chant with the speed of Srila Prabhupada in that machine with Prabhupada chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, that takes 10 minutes. I will tell you a simple calculation. It takes 5 seconds for one Mahamantra with that. So in 1 minute, one is able to chant 12 Mahamantras. 1 minute, 12 Mahamantras. 12 nines are 108. So it should take ideally 9 minutes for every one of us. Ideally. Ideally. And then 1 minute we chant our Jamam Vishnu Pada and Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So 10 minutes is perfect. Perfect speed, I would say. Yeah. But people have jobs, people have to rush to work. With 10 minutes, it takes 2 hours, 40 minutes for the chanting. So
Yes,
many devotees, they increase their speed little bit and just make it 4 seconds. Just by making it 4 seconds for each Mahamantra, that is quite possible. It is not impossible. Or 3 seconds to 4 seconds, it immediately the time drops down to 7 minutes. But then those who are chanting one round in 7 minutes, they have to be very cautious about their speed. They're maintaining that high speed, and also they should uh, try to hear and assimilate the holy name also. Chanting 10 minutes, what you are doing is very nice, and you can listen to the Maha Mantras very clearly and very nicely. That is, so rather I advise many devotees that on a Sunday, when you have time, you don't have to go to office on weekends, on Saturday, you should chant slowly. Chant slowly. If every day you are taking 2 hours, let it extend for some time, and on weekends, try to chant slowly, try to listen to the holy name. Because those who are chanting at this speed of 7 minutes and all, um, the risk is you talk to somebody, then you lose some mahamantras, and with 10 minutes, of course 10 minutes does not assure you or allow you to talk and during chanting, but 10 minutes, it's you if you are chanting very comfortably and attentively, everything becomes possible. 7 minutes. So those who do this 7-minute thing, or 7.5 minutes to be precise. That means 8 rounds in 1 hour. Normally, all devotees do this: 8 rounds in 1 hour, 8 rounds in another hour, 16. I advise them that they should get up very early in the morning and chant 16 rounds at a go without touching the mobile, without touching. That's what I do in my life. Every day I sleep at around 9, 9:30, get up at 2:30. 2:30 to 4:30, I finish my round. I used to go to the temple every day for chanting, but since lockdown, I have started this. And after that, I again take a rest and then get up and go to office. But one thing I do is I start to end 16 rounds in one go. That is very important. One day I'll whenever I come over to you next, I will explain why one should chant 16 rounds in one go. Yes, Radha Bhava Mataji, any question from your? So, Prabhuji, did I answer your question?
Yes, yes,
Govinda
yes.
Sham. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Radha Bhava Mataji is raising her hand. Mataji,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila
Dandot
Prabhupada.
Pranam. Jai
Thank
Shri
you so
Prabhupada.
much for such a wonderful lecture. Prabhuji,
Yeah,
I had a question that
yeah,
you said that when you can chant and Krishna will accept you when you don't criticize anybody and you're being humble. My question is sometimes when you're in leadership position, you have to correct a devotee, and that sometimes hurts a devotee when because feedback is very difficult, not easy for everybody.
yeah.
So, how do you draw this fine line between Vaishnava Aparadh and giving a feedback, where it should not hurt the devotee and our chanting also should not get affected?
As I told you that uh, I gave example of the bank, that before we even chastise or correct anyone, we have to give enough love to that devotee, and giving enough love means or depositing lot of love in the bank of our relationship with that devotee. Only then we can withdraw. Many of our current acharyas, they tell us that don't shout, don't criticize, don't chastise any devotee unless you love him. Unless you love him very much. And he also knows that you love him. Okay? Uh, we should be very, very, very careful while doing this. We should be 100 times asking our heart that I am trying to tell him this. Uh, do I really love him, and do I really want him to be corrected, or I am angry with him? Many times we are angry with some devotees who are not behaving properly. And many times we speak out of anger. And Krishna also reciprocates. When we speak out of anger, that devotee may feel offended and he may give up Krishna consciousness also, or he may be withdrawn. When we do it out of love, he also understands. I'll give you an example. I am I was warden of the hostel over here for many years, and I had to sometimes rusticate people from the hostel because they were found drinking and smoking. And so this used to happen at 2 o'clock in the night, that I found that person drinking, smoking. We took his blood. Blood has gone for investigation. Now what happens next is before sleeping in my room, I used to again go to that fellow's room and I used to tell him, don't worry, everything will be all right. Don't feel bad. I'm there with you. So then he used to feel, oh, sir is not angry with me. So he used to sleep. And then eventually the report used to go to the dean, and the dean used to give her this thing that this person has to be rusticated for the hostel for 6 months. Now with that also, I used to stand by that person. It's not that I didn't punish him. I used to tell him that, see, you have to go for 6 months. This is our rules. But then I used to help him find a room also. And then on the day when he used to move the luggage out of hostel, I used to go to the taxi also. And you know what I used to tell him? I used to tell him, I'll wait for you to meet you again after 6 months and to allot you a room again. You know, he used to feel so moved. Although I'm punishing him, he used to see love. He used to see that, yes, my warden, he loves me. And I used to be in touch with him. I used to call him the first day, second day. How was your stay in this new room outside the campus? Are you comfortable? So with that whole 6 months, I never gave him a feeling that you drunken fellow, you drank in my hostel, you broke the rules and regulations of the hostel. I'm throwing you out. You better improve or I'll not take you back. So I'm just giving you a karmi example for now. This is how I should deal with karmis who were drinking. So now what to speak of dealing with devotees? We should be so gentle. Same thing, same message what we have to give, that same feedback can be given in such a nice, humble, gentle way that person's heart is changed.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I will give you one example. There was one doctor uh, from my mother's hometown, and his son was admitted in our college. And very nice, he was, father was neurosurgeon, and son is studying with me. And the last thing I expected in life was this fellow getting into bad habits in the hostel. And one day, as I was taking the hostel round, I opened his room, and he was sitting there with cigarette in his lips with a lighter like this. And I opened the door. And you know what I did? I just closed the door and I walked away. I didn't say a single word. After 6, 7 days, I heard a knock on the door and he was standing there. And he said, Sir, I have come to say sorry to you. I said, Sorry. I said, I never expected that you will come to Mumbai and you will start smoking. Others says, okay, I know your father, your son of a doctor. I know you since your childhood. You are, you have been such a brilliant student. You know what? He said, Sir, I am sorry. I said, then why you took long, a week's time to say sorry? He said, Sir, 7 days I practice not to smoke. Today, I am convinced that I will be in a position to keep my word given to you. 7 days I practiced not to smoke. So seventh day I have come here to promise you in my whole life I will not smoke again. Probably that day when I entered his room, if I would have thrashed him, shouted at him, and called his father and told him that your son, I have found him smoking and I'm throwing him out of the hostel, he would have become a drug addict by now. So therefore, uh, I must say that we should be, if we are gentle, I know it's very difficult. We sometimes feel that this way people will take advantage. No, no. You will feel that there will be chaos. No, no. It is not like that. If you in your heart keep a genuine desire to correct somebody and improve somebody, you will be able to do it in a the most gentle way. As one of the disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, even to karmis we should not say that you are sinful. We should bow at their lotus feet and tell them, you are such a nice person, but why don't you chant also? So that is how we correct the karmis. So what to speak of devotees who are chanting 16 rounds. Yeah, thank you. So I think I'll stop here. Lot of we have exceeded time 1 hour and 25 minutes. Thank you. I am not eligible to speak to glorious devotees like all of you who are in the West and serving the mission of Srila Prabhupada. I am sitting here in Mumbai and not doing anything, not adding any devotees to the mission, and nothing I'm doing, let me tell you. I always tell those devotees who are overseas, if anybody calls me and asks me, should we come back to India? I tell them, don't come back to India because
Why?
Srila Prabhupada's mission is people are needed there overseas. In India, you will come back and just become a part of the crowd. There are lots and lots of thousands and hundreds of devotees here. Just don't become a part of the crowd and make the temple more crowded over here. Be there, help the mission of Prabhupada. There you are needed to run this temple. There you are needed to spread the mission. And Srila Prabhupada needs you there more. Don't be like Yugavtaar Das sitting in Mumbai and becoming a liability on the temple. Instead, as you are assets over there to ISKCON, so be an asset to ISKCON and never a liability. With that, I'll stop. Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna,
much.
Prabhu.
Thank you,
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
One
Prabhuji, there's a
small.
question on chat. There's a
No,
question
Ah,
on chat.
we have time, Prabhuji, for like 10 minutes.
okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Also, I also wanted to squeeze in
Yeah,
one thing,
yeah,
if
yeah,
possible. Thank
yeah,
you so
yeah,
much. Well,
yeah,
actually, two things. One is I want to thank you so much for talking about the proper length for chanting one round.
yeah,
I've never been like so validated before in, when you're saying, if we follow Srila Prabhupada, it will take us 9-10 minutes,
yeah,
because I feel for myself
yeah.
that to do it properly, that's how much time I need. But I've always felt like so a little retarded because I need that much time. So I thank you so much for validating me.
Thank you
It
so much.
was extremely, extremely encouraging. Your whole talk has been so encouraging, Prabhu. I want to listen to it again because your whole talk just resonated with my heart. So that was the quick comment I wanted to make. But I do need to just follow up real quickly with the Rupa Goswami chastising Jiva Goswami story a little bit, because you said that it's not that in his heart he was still feeling a little hurt or resentful, but he was accepting that, yes, he was wrong. You said that he was convinced that he was wrong. But when
Yeah,
he was arguing with that person, he was convinced he was doing the right thing. So
yeah,
how is it that just by hearing Rupa Goswami's chastisement, he did a 180-degree turnaround
yeah, yeah,
in his heart?
yeah, yeah. Because that's what our philosophy is. That's what we sing every day in Guru Puja. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittate Kari Aikya Arana Kari Ho Mane Asha. That whatever our Guru Maharaj tells us, we have to hear it with full concentration and make it the mission of our life. So here he was, initially he thought that I will defeat this person and I will uh, bring glory back of our parampara, because he was challenging Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. He thought he was correct. But moment he realized that no, my guru feels I did a wrong thing. Yes, I may have done a wrong thing. It, of course, for let me be frank with you, it's very difficult for you and me and any one of us, the practicing sadhakas, to go to this level, and probably that's why we are a little bit uh, doubtful about this paradigm shift that happened in his thought process. So it's very difficult even for us also, because we are so convinced in our heart. But this is what surrender means, and this is how this whole pastime of Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami is like a beacon light. It's like a guiding light for all of us, that how a disciple, to degree the level of surrender should be. Unfortunately, if we are not there, we should not artificially be acting like that, but we should try to follow. We should pray to Krishna that let me have that much level of surrender to Guru, and we should try our best to follow the footsteps of Jiva Goswami in this. Of course, sometimes we may succeed, sometimes we may fail, but if we are trying, Krishna will see that sincerity. We may not be level of Jiva Goswami or become a good disciple like Jiva Goswami, but Krishna will definitely help us and bring us closer, help us surrender to the spiritual master. But that is a slow process. For right now, we may not be in that stage. But if we are trying, if we keep on hearing such stories, when it comes to a point where our Guru is telling us you are wrong, and we are convinced in our heart that I am right, we can remember these pastimes. This is why Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita is there in our life, because it acts as a guiding light. So we remember this pastime. Yes, Jiva Goswami, he felt he was correct initially, but when Rupa Goswami said he is wrong, he accepted his wrong. Let me also try following. So we are taking a risk, and whenever we take a risk for Krishna, then we are knowing in our heart, I am correct. But spiritual master is telling me, we are trying to follow the footsteps. Krishna will help us. Krishna will help us in surrendering to our Guru also. So for that also we should be dependent on Krishna. That Krishna, please help me to surrender.
Oh, okay. Prabhu, yes, perfect. Perfect understanding for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So I think I'll stop. Yes, Prabhuji.
Krishna, sorry, I think you're going to pause. One question. This is in follow-up to your suggestion to Shyam Prabhu. My name is Sachin Kaur, Pranam Krishna Prabhupada. Through this process of Krishna consciousness, especially chanting, everything in this process is very contagious. As we practice, we get more attracted. We want to do more. So in the beginning, probably we chant 16 rounds, and generally I used to take at least 8 minutes to chant. And as we practice more, there is a desire to increase our bhajan, increase our quantity, chant more. So with that desire, but then with our family commitments, our job, taking care of children, of these, we still have a limited amount of time. And probably you were saying that quality follows when we increase the quantity. So probably beyond 16, if we want to chant, and if we try to maintain an average of 8 minutes around, chanting more is not possible. So it's mainly because of the limited amount of time that we have. So probably how do we what is your suggestion in that case?
Okay. So Prabhuji, firstly, let me tell you that it's not a golden rule that we should, that 10 minutes chanting is golden and 8 minutes is silver and 6 minutes is bronze. It's not like that. It all of us have a different body. All of us have a different kind of a mind. All of us have a different kind of a thinking pattern. So whatever we are comfortable, whatever we are comfortable is most important. Like some devotees who are there right now in this Bhakti Sangha, they said that they are comfortable with 10 minutes. So we should not force them, okay, chant in 7 minutes. And there may be some devotees who can comfortably finish a round in 7 minutes. We should not be forcing them that, oh, 7 minutes is Maya, so you should try to chant in 10 minutes. Okay, so this is very important principle in Krishna consciousness, that we accept the diversity which is there amongst all of us, which exists amongst all of us. All of us, different bodies, different mindset. So we should not be forcing people to, change their basic nature. If somebody is comfortably chanting with 8 rounds, that is fine, absolutely fine. No golden rules. What golden rules Srila Prabhupada has told us is less than 5 minutes and more than 10 minutes is Maya. So it should not happen that we finish our round in 3 minutes, 4 minutes. That is wrong. And it should not happen that we take 15 minutes for a round. That is also wrong. So Prabhupada has given us a range. Okay, so we should see to it that we fit in this range. I think you had another question about chanting extra round. Is that?
Yes, so with the time frame that we have, if we spend, like, let's say 7-8 minutes in per round, then we will not be able to chant our extra rounds that we have a desire to chant.
Yeah. So what is the question exactly here?
So Prabhuji, let's say if we are taking, so I think you answered my question also, Prabhuji. Like you were
Okay,
saying
it's answered. Yeah, I just wanted to just be doubly sure that anything is left unanswered. Thank you.
You were saying that Prabhupada said it is not anything 4 or 5 is not, and anything more than 10 is not good.
Yeah. So we have to just be in the range. We have to just be in the range. Okay. Thank you so much. So I'll take your leave, and thank you so much again for.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Shyama Gauri Dasi from Charlotte. And
Yeah,
thank
thank
you so much, Prabhuji, for accepting our request and coming on the call. I did not know you. I was following your Facebook from many years, and I just opened the Facebook only to see your comments on Krishna consciousness. It's a really good, Prabhuji. It's like, even the people who are not Krishna conscious, they like that so very much. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm not eligible to guide any one of you actually, but as a service to Srila Prabhupada, we try to, be here as a. That's how I'm trying to prove that I'm servant, because you told me to give a session, and I'm doing it as a servant of all of you. So trying to serve you in any ways. You tell me dance, I'll dance also. Yes, Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, thank you so much.
Thank you, Yugavtaar Prabhu. I'm so happy to hear from you, and such a wonderful nectarian class. So many deep realizations were flowing. So thank you, Prabhu. Very, very grateful. And I will call you, Prabhu. I want to connect with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Just a second, I am not taking more time. This is Vrinda Gopika from Radhanath Maharaj Disciple and Radha Gopinath Temple. Prabhuji, I want to explain that we have seen how sincerely you are playing drama in Shri Radha Gopinath, and you and Rasarani is always staying with small kids, and you become a small kids and give a Krishna conscious to them so nicely, so humbly. The definition of humility is Rasrani and you, Prabhu. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Like a sugar-coated pills you give to whether it's a 5 years kids or 15 years or 20 years or like us 35 years. So nicely serve Shri Radha Gopinath. Pray for us that we will serve Shri Radha Gopinath like your mood and give your association to Bhakti
those who are there abroad, my Koti Dandavats to all of you, because what you are doing there is glorious. Okay, so please keep me in your prayers, and whenever you call me, I am there for Bhakti Sangh. Just take it from me. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for this wonderful class today and nectarian class. We're really grateful to you and look forward to having your association again in future. And thanks for accepting the request and coming here today. We would like to wrap up the call here now. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
We spare obeisances to Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa
कृपा
sindhu
सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Ananta
ग्रंथ
Koti
श्रीमद्
Vaishnava
भागवतम की जय, श्रील
Jai.
की जय,
Srila
हरे कृष्ण।
Prabhupada ki jai. He says Yugavtaar Prabhuji ki jai.